Two reasons. Partly it goes back to Stardust. When I was writing Stardust, it was I started writing Stardust, I think it was 1994, maybe 95, I think it was 94. And in my head, Stardust is written in the 1920s. It's like, the idea of the book was, I wanted the book to feel and taste as if it was written by an author in the 20s, before Tolkien, before big fantasy novels existed, back when you get literary authors writing fairy tales. And I've noticed that sentence construction has a lot to do with technology. Those amazing, wonderful, endless 18th century sentences, for example, that basically exist because if you dipped your pen in the ink, you just had to keep writing. If you stopped, by the point where you put in a full stop, your pen is now dried up and you have to scrape it out and dip it again. So you get these wonderful, paragraph-long sentences. And I thought, well, it will probably change the way that I think. I'll have to think my way through a sentence a little bit more. And not do that thing I do on the computer, where I sort of throw down the rough play and then I noodle into it to try and get it right. So I went out and I bought the first fountain pen I'd had since I was at school. And I bought a big leather-bound notebook and I wrote Stardust in it. And liked doing it that way, because I discovered that I could get around some of my inner thoughts. As a writer, you're forever trying to outwit yourself in order to work. And I discovered that if I'm not actually on a computer screen, I'm not doing things on a computer, until that moment it's not really work. I'm just messing around. So I loved that. I loved the feeling that I was doing that. And also, I noticed around that same time, I edited an anthology. And I noticed with fascination that the last time I'd edited an anthology, sort of 3 or 4 years before that, 5 or 6 years before that, stories tended to come in at about 3,000 words. And people were typing them still. And now people are on computers. And stories were coming in and they were sort of 6,000 to 9,000 words long. But they were still about as much content as you had. And they sort of bloated and inflated. And I realized that I did that because